Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex. So since the last episode, we were looking for oil, and guess what I found? Actually, not too far from where we stopped. I just kept digging down a little bit, and I found the oil biome and the magma down below it. I built this wall here because as all the ice and stuff starts to melt in here, I don't want any of the water to leak out and get into the oil. Now, and I already built a pump down here, but one problem I can see, a potential problem for us, if we look at the temperature overlay, actually let me get out of screenshot mode. When I first discovered this oil, the temperature was in the 90s, and it's already up to 103, 105, almost 110 C, right? And my pump will overheat at 125. The tiles surrounding it are, some of them are, yeah, see, if you get not too far away from where this oil is, the tiles are well above 125, right? This oil here is 173. This oil is 122. This oil over here is 128. There's even some oil, yeah, over here it's 248 C. So I think this might be a volcano or something down here. So the issue is that the oil is hot and it's getting hotter. So I need to get, I think, steel. I think if I build a pump from steel, it can handle some of those high temperatures. I'm not exactly sure, but in any case, I need to use this oil quickly so that I can get some steel production going, so that I can build more temperature resistant equipment. So I've just been thinking about what I can do to keep at least this bit of oil from getting too hot before I have a chance to use it. One thought was I could just start pumping it now and pump it into some liquid reservoirs. These will hold 5 tons each. Although those have no, that wouldn't work. Those have an overheat temperature of 75. So I couldn't even do that unless perhaps I submerge them in water. I could put them in the cold water here and pump it out. Or the other thought is maybe I just build some insulated tiles in here to protect the temperature a little bit. I'm not sure which would be better. The insulated tiles might take a while to build as well, to be honest. In fact, I'm sure they would. They take a long time to build. Yeah, I think I'll build some insulated tiles down here. Or I could just start and just not even worry about it. Let's see where the highest temperatures are. The highest temperatures are coming from the right side. Well, they're coming from the left side too. You know what? Let's not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's build some insulated tiles. I'll make them out of igneous rock since we have igneous rock in this area. There. I'll just build it up like that. Let's make that a high priority so it gets done quickly. And in the meantime, I'll start setting up some steel production. Okay. Let's make sure my guys are coming down here. Now on this oil fissure, I was doing a little bit of research on that, and what I read is that you don't really get enough oil from here to make it really worth using, at least in the early game. so I'm not gonna worry about this too much right now. But one thing I did to cool down the oil was I replaced these bottom two tiles with metal tiles. So since this tile is in contact with all the salt water in here, we've got this big reservoir of salt water. And then this metal tile is in contact with the oil. So this allows the heat to transfer from the oil and get dissipated into all this salt water. So here you can see that the oil is a fairly reasonable temperature. It's in the 90s. So that's pretty good. Where are my dupes? They're eating their horrible food. We do need to get to the next phase with our hatches here sometime soon. I built a third. I don't remember if I had the third one there when you guys were watching last time. It's been a couple days since I made a video. But yeah, let's get this insulated tile done, and hopefully that'll prevent these temperatures from going up too much higher. Okay. So, in the meantime, what I want to do is I want to make 1200 steel and 200 plastic at least, and that way I'll be able to set up a cooling solution. And I thought I would use this area for my manufacturing area. It's just outside the main base and the insulated tiles that are there. That way, if we generate a lot of heat over here, it won't be that much of a problem. They'll have Atmo suits on, and it's very close to the rest of the base. So I think this is a good place to do these things. Oh, speaking of that, I put in the water lock here. So as you can see, I just built that little design that I showed you last time. I filled it with water. I had to shift some things around here. I had to move the ladder over to make room for it. But this way they'll come in, they'll get their Atmo suits on, and then go through the water lock, which will prevent them from getting that wet debuff, because they can go through the liquids with their Atmo suits on without having any ill effects. And you can see it works quite well. You know, hydrogen pressure over here is 2,300 grams, and over here on this side it's less than 200. So it does a perfect job of keeping gases separated from one another. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to bring up some oil. Yeah, so the first thing we'll do is we will make some steel. Okay, so I'm going to clear out this area here, and I'm going to build a metal refinery. And I'm going to clear out this area here. Actually, hang on. What I want to do, the metal refinery needs coolant, because it generates a lot of heat. You have to feed it coolant. And one trick I've seen done is using the crude oil for coolant. Then again, maybe I don't want to do that, because it's just going to heat up this oil even further. However, I don't see that I have much choice, because I can't use water. It'll just flash into steam, and that won't be good. And I don't really have any other liquids that I can use for coolant. Salt water is going to boil. Oh, sorry. Yeah, salt water boils at 100°C. Whatever liquid I put into it is going to go over 100°C. So, yeah, so I think I'm going to have to use the oil and just hope that it doesn't get too hot. If it does get too hot, then I'll build some, I don't know, I'll build some reservoirs in the cold water. I'll pump it out, and we'll just keep repairing damage. We'll just keep repairing heat damage until I get it all out. Or I could use this oil. It's not a lot there, but it might be enough. It might be enough to get the job done. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to set up a place where I can have the refinery bring in oil and then drip the hot oil back down into the pool. So I think instead I'll make it right here. Okay, so let's demo that. And then we'll build some tile across there. Okay, I'm also going to need a power source. Let's see. Metal refinery. We'll make it out of igneous rock. How much power does it take? It takes 1.2 kilowatts. Okay. So I'm going to need a significant power source for that. So let's set up 2 coal generators with a smart battery. We'll connect those with some automation wire. And then I will use the conductive wire between those, because conductive wire can carry up to 2 kilowatts. And then I'll put a power transformer. And then feed a regular wire down to my pump. Let's see how this is doing now. All right, 105. As long as we keep it below 125, we'll be good. Okay, and hopefully these tiles will keep it from going down any further. Okay, so let's look at our plumbing overlay. All right, so that's my input pipe. I'm going to need... this is going to be tricky. Okay. So let's do this. Input pipe there. I'm going to cut this. This is the pipe that I'm going to use to pump the oil up, you know, to the base. But I'll cut it right now just so we don't have any oil flowing down that way for now. Okay, and then the output. This will be a little tricky, but I think we can do something like this. Yeah. And then that hot oil can just fall back down. Okay, and we're going to need more tiles. And let's build a little bit of shelter there so that we don't... Well, actually it might be good to drip cold water on it, but the fact that this is in a cold environment may help as well. Okay, so I'll give all this a 7 priority so that it hopefully gets built quickly. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to turn iron ore to iron. Now here's the advantage of using the refinery. I can turn 100 kilograms of iron ore into 100 kilograms of iron with the refinery. Whereas when you use the rock crusher to do it, 100 kilograms of ore only gets you 50 kilograms of iron and 50 kilograms of sand. So that's why using the refinery is the way to go. Yeah, and having this water on the ground might help to keep things cooled down as well. I'm not going to mop it up. In fact, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe... I'll just cancel this for now. It might be better just to have melting ice just drip down on it, you know? Okay, so let's set my threshold on there. 90 and 60 is what we usually do. Set that to 100%. Set this to 100%. And we'll raise the priority of those coal generators. And it looks like we're all set as soon as we start making power. Okay, so let's do the iron to iron. I'm going to need 1,200 steel, so we'll do 12. Okay, the oil's coming in. It'll hold 800 kilograms of coolant. Okay, it needs at least 400 to run, but it'll... Oh, at least I thought it would hold up to 800. I guess it only holds 400. Or does it? Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like it's queuing up some more for the next one. Okay. What achievement did I earn? Oh. Hey now. Okay. Getting a lot of achievements here. Nice. Okay, so now I just need somebody to come down and operate the machine. And then we'll start getting the steel going. Once we have the steel, we'll deconstruct the refinery and we'll make some petroleum. And with the petroleum, we can make plastic. And actually, I think I will build a second floor here. Okay, here we go. Oh, looks like I already have some refined iron as well, so I don't necessarily need all 1,200. Okay. Alright, so now look at the crude oil coming out. It's 168.8 C. I could have made this out of radiant pipe to cool it down a bit before it falls down, but... Okay, and then that's going to drip down, and all this oil is going to start to heat up a bit. But like I said, hopefully we can get this job done before we have too much of an issue. And I can stop once we get to 1,200 kilograms. But I'm hoping that just adding a little bit of hot oil to this fairly large pool of oil will not cause too much problem. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to need for the steel, I need a kiln. Because steel requires... refined carbon, which I think is just made from coal, and it requires lime. Now the lime I already have because we've been converting eggshells and fossil into lime. Okay, so now we can make refined carbon. We take 125 kilograms of coal, turn that into 100. I'm not sure exactly how much I need right now, so I'll queue up 10 of those. We'll give that a 7 priority as well. Okay, and we're up to 500. We're about halfway there on the iron. Now when we set the refinery up here, I'll use petroleum as a coolant, and it'll go through a loop through our cooling system. Okay, so the temperature at the pump is about 110 degrees. We're still doing okay. Why did I lose power? Why does it have no power? Is it because this is using all... Oh, it's because this is using all of my power. Yeah, because this consumes 1200 watts, and I'm only making 1200 watts. So when this is running, the pump stops. Okay. And this cooling solution seems to be working fine, so I think I will... Once that gets mopped up, I think I will put a pump in there. I mean, I'm not sure if this is enough heat to cause this water to turn into steam at some point. There is a lot of water, and it's going to add more. Yeah, in fact, we're going to get more water in here in 0.3 cycles. If there's room. I could dig out more so that more water can collect in here. In fact, maybe I can just build a big holding tank underneath it. Well, but then again, I want the water to be in contact with that, so. But like I said, once we have steel, I think a steel pump is going to be able to take high temperatures. Okay, so we've got 1,200 kilograms of iron. So I'm just going to cancel this. Whoops. Turn that off, and let's make steel. So for the steel, we take 70 kilograms of iron, 20 kilograms of carbon, 10 kilograms of lime, and we get steel. Okay, so we're going to need 12 of those. And how are we doing on the carbon? Alright, so 12, I need, what, 240 kilograms of refined carbon? Okay, yes, I'm already set. I'm already set on the carbon. Okay, and up here I am going to put a liquid reservoir to hold some of the petroleum that we're going to make when this is finished. Okay, now steel is not showing up here. I think it shows up... Yeah, there we go. Manufactured material. Got 200 steel. So let's see what would happen if I went to build a liquid pump out of steel. Overheat temperature plus 200 C. Awesome. So my overheat temperature would be 275 with a steel pump. Okay. The base is 75. Gold amalgam takes it up to 125. Steel would take it up to 275. So that would allow us to pump out pretty much all of the steel. So you can see some of the oil has turned into petroleum from the heat, I presume. But yeah, with a steel pump, all of this oil around here becomes usable. All right, let's keep doing some research. I think I've got... Actually, oh yeah, I've already done all the research I can. I forgot about that. see what we got here. Curative tablet. Sure, I'll take that. Might come in handy at some point. Let's check on our oxygen levels. We're doing great. We're doing fine over here. Although I did expand my cooling loop down here because it's starting to get warmer in the cold biome. Right, so it's coming out of here at, let's see, 13C, and that's with pretty much doubling the size of the cooling loop. So this is something we'll have to continue to watch. I want to make sure I'm not pumping 70 degree oxygen into my base. Yeah, it's coming out at about 14C. That's fine. Okay, 600. Keep going, fellas. What do I need for the oil refinery? I need 700 steel for the oil refinery. Okay, I have enough already. I can start to build it. Yeah, overheat temperature is 75. I could make it out of... Well, I could make it out of gold amalgam. I'll make it out of steel. I mean, we're gonna deconstruct this stuff once it's done anyway. Okay, so we'll pump oil into there, and then the petroleum I'm going to take out and put into this liquid reservoir. And then we'll just let this keep going until it's done. Uh-oh, I'm starting to get overheat damage. Ooh. Yeah, the oil's hot. It's over 125 now. Well, I guess we'll just have to keep going. What can I make? Okay. Well, I can make a reservoir out of gold amalgam, and that would take... Yeah, maybe I should do that. Let's build an oil reservoir right here. I'll make it out of gold. So that'll take 125. I'll just start pumping some oil in there. I definitely don't want that thing to break. I'll make that a 7, so hopefully it gets repaired quicker. Okay, we've got 1,000 kilograms of steel. Are we done? Okay, good. So we're done with the refinery, with the metal refining. So I'm going to deconstruct it. And then we'll set this up. You know what? Cancel this. I'm just gonna try to finish this quickly. Okay, so now we can get rid of this part. We don't need that anymore. And we want liquid pipe to go up there into our refinery. And the refinery needs 480 watts. So I can use standard wire for that. There. And then I'll start building a polymer press down here to make some plastic. And that I am going to make out of steel. Okay, and we'll just keep repairing that pump for as long as we need to. Oh, crap. There we go. Okay, and then this is going to take petroleum. So let's... crud. No, I do. I do have enough room for a bridge. Just have to put it right there. Okay, now how much petroleum do I need? $833 grams of petroleum makes 500 grams of plastic. So if I need 200 kilograms, well, I don't know. I'll just keep them both going until I have 200 kilograms. Now the refinery makes natural gas, and the polymer press needs ventilation because it makes carbon dioxide. So I need to find a place that's got a sufficiently low pressure so that I can dump out carbon dioxide. Maybe I can just bring it straight up. And I'll just dump it right there. Okay, and I'll just keep making petroleum until I have a few thousand grams, I guess. And then later we can pump this up, and like I said, we'll use that for coolant, I believe. Okay, now this building is flooded. So I guess I'm going to need to sweep up some of the water. I guess one thing I didn't consider is that the pump itself is probably adding some heat to it. How much steel do I need to make a liquid pump? 400. Yeah, I wish I would have made an extra 400 steel. That would have helped. Okay, and now we're getting some plastic. Okay, there's 30 kilograms. We're just going to have to let this keep going. Having some melted water here on the floor is going to help to keep the press cool. And we have a nice low gas pressure right here, so... Alright, let's raise the priority on that oil refinery too. That's 240. Okay, yeah, I've got plenty enough power to run these things. Keep going, crude oil pump. $90 kilograms. We're getting closer. Keep that pump going, guys. And then once we're done with this, I'll just deconstruct the pump. And then after that, we'll be able to make a lot of steel. Replace it. I could drop some water in there. That might help cool it down, and the water would float on top. Actually, the water would turn into steam if I did that, so maybe it's not such a good idea. Okay, good. We're collecting good quantity of petroleum, and I've got enough plastic. I'll let it run for another couple minutes, just so we have a little bit of extra. And so you can see all the heat this stuff is creating is just really starting to melt this biome like crazy. Getting a lot of water collecting down here. Okay, we've got 270. I think that'll be enough. So I'm going to deconstruct that. I'll let the refinery keep going for a little while longer. Like I said, I'd like to get a few thousand petroleum in the tank before we stop here. Okay, and then once I get the steel back from this oil refinery, the reason we want that is so that we can build two things. One is a thermo aqua tuner. This is what takes 1200 steel. We need to build one of those. That is going to, essentially we're going to be circulating polluted water through our cooling loop, and this is going to be cooling it down as it passes through it. The aqua tuner itself will generate a lot of heat, so we're going to submerge it in water as well. So this cools down the liquid passing through it. As it does so, it's going to create heat and heat up the water that's around it, that it's submerged in. That water will eventually turn into steam. And at that point, we will have a steam turbine, which requires 200 plastic. That's what we need the plastic for. Okay, and we can make it out of, I guess we can make it from copper or iron. I'll probably just make it out of iron, because I'm not going to have the steel yet. But we'll need 800 iron. That'll give it a higher overheat temperature. Lead has a lower overheat temperature. Overheat temperature is 1,000. Actually, I could probably just make it out of, maybe I could make it out of lead. Yeah, so I'll make it out of lead and plastic. So anyway, the water will heat up. Eventually it'll turn into steam. The steam will run the turbine. The turbine will generate electrical power. And as it does so, it'll turn 125 degree steam back into 100 degree water and drop the water back into the chamber around the aqua tuner. And in doing so, it essentially removes heat from the system. because we're converting heat into electrical power with that steam generator. And that allows that cooling loop to just continue running indefinitely. And then with our oil refineries, you know, we can collect the natural gas, and we can turn that into power as well with a natural gas generator. So there's all these machines kind of support one another in some ways. Okay, well, I can start removing some of this stuff. We can get rid of that. I can get rid of this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Now I'm going to get petroleum on the ground. Or am I? Yeah. Let's see if we can mop that up so it doesn't mix with the water. Great. I don't think any got in the water. Okay, good. Yeah, it's just polluted water and clean water. There's our petroleum. Okay, I think that's good enough. So we'll deconstruct that. That'll recover all of our steel. I'm going to deconstruct that pump. Okay, so now you can see we've got our 1200 steel, and I've got 300 plastic, and then I have a nice tank with some petroleum in it. I want to deconstruct that, and I'm going to deconstruct that, and then I'll call my plumber over to clear out that pipe, to empty the pipe. Okay, I'll take the copper ore since we don't have any more. Shoot, now the oil's going in. Oh, maybe it's not. Okay, let's mop this up again. Mop 8. Oh, there's oil right here. There we go. Good. Now, if I delete the rest of this pipe, I think it's going to fall on the ground. Yeah, a plumber can empty the pipe, but I don't think it gets bottled. You know what I should have done? I should have cut the pipe before I disassembled the refinery, so it used up the rest of the oil in the pipe, but I didn't think of that. Okay, so now we're going to connect that. And maybe at some point I'll want to turn that into insulated pipe. Okay, let's deconstruct that. I'll leave the power here because we're going to need that to run the pump once the pump gets put back there. Okay, so like I said, so the next step will be down in this area. I'm going to build our cooling solution, and then we'll set up another metal refinery, a polymer press, a couple of these kilns, and then we'll be able to start mass producing steel and plastic and stuff like that, so that we can start to build some of the more advanced stuff in the game. And that'll be in the next episode. So until then, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.